Kathy Helbig joins us each and every Thursday to give us our real estate lesson. Good morning, Kathy Helbig.
Good morning.
What are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about contingent contracts because people still don't have a really great understanding of that. And unfortunately, this is not the market where that's being very well received right now.
Okay.
So people get in a situation where they have to get the money out of their house to be able to buy the next house.
Right.
And they're still, they'll have us over. And the first thing I, sit down and ask them is, okay, like, where's the cart and where's the horse in this situation? We've got a house to buy and a house to sell. And I'm going to say probably 7 times out of 10, they're still in that mindset of, well, yeah, we want to do it at the same time. Because my question is, what's going to come first? Is the sale of your house more important, or is finding something on the market more important?
Right.
Because right now, the challenge of doing it simultaneously is there's more buyers than there are sellers right now. Mm-hmm. So as soon as we put someone's house up for sale on the market, if it's showing properly and it's priced right, it's going to sell.
Right.
The trickiness is finding you a new house right now because there's not as many to pick from.
Right.
And you might be one of 20 people that put an offer on the house. Mm-hmm. So those are the questions we have to uncover and then figure out kind of what's plan A and what's plan B. And it's surprising to me still to sit down in front of people and realize they've not thought this whole thing through on what they're going to do. So, their mindset is, well, last time we bought a house, we did it at the same time. Well, that means we wrote contingent upon our house selling.
Right.
Usually.
But that was a different time.
That was a different era.
But if you're buying a house and you put a contract in a house and you say, hey, this is contingent on me selling my house, the seller of your new house shouldn't be worried because houses are going so fast.
You would think, however, what you're doing when you're doing a contingent offer is you are asking the seller to assume all of your risk, all of it, 100%, because you are contingent until the day you close. So that seller doesn't know if the contract that you accept on your house might also be a contingent contract. Mm-hmm. Now we're waiting on 3 people to perform instead of 1 person to perform.
Right.
So one little bump in the dominoes and the guy left holding the bag is the last guy at the end of the chain that held his house up for this whole time while 1 or 2 or 3 other people were all safe because it's contingent upon the guy before me closing. And if he doesn't close, then I don't have to perform on my next obligation. Right. So it's really a big deal to ask a seller to take a home sale contingency. And then we still have people going, well, I want to, I'm going to offer $20,000 less on the house and ask him to take my home sale contingency. And, that's a lose-lose right there altogether. But what sellers don't understand sometimes, too, if the house has been on the market for a while, sometimes you can get more money out of somebody to take a home sale contingent contract. So it boils down to what is your top priorities. Do you want to take a little bit of a risk on to maybe get a few percent more for your house because no one ran and jumped at it the first week it was on the market? Those are the types of sellers that sometimes we can work a deal with home sale contingent. And the sellers are only locked in, guys. So this is a big thing that people don't understand too. There's a kick-out clause for sellers. So if you say, take my home sale contingency, and they say, okay, there's usually what's called a 48-hour, it's 24, 48, 72-hour kick-out. At any time, for any reason, the seller can say, never mind, change my mind. You need to firm up your contract within this time frame or your contract dies. It does not mean, though, as the buyer, if the seller has a new buyer that comes in and pays $50,000 more than you did, it doesn't mean you have to match the new contract. You have a contract for those terms with that seller.
So you can take the contingency off?
You can take the contingency off, and you now have the risk of you have to come up with funds somewhere to close. But you get the house for that $50,000 lower price than what the seller has sitting in his back pocket.
I know your eyes are glossed over. This is very confusing. That's
confusing.
That's why you call Kathy Helbig. Her and her team will help you every step of the way. 20-plus years in the business. KathyHelbigGroup.com, 314-276-SOLD, or KathyHelbigGroup.com. Good stuff.
Thank you.
745, Big 550, KTRS.